So I have had a lot of people like message me about what I'm doing to run these quarterly challenge groups. And so I thought I'd just go like live and just share everything because it's so much easier than trying to explain in detail. Um, so if you don't know me, I'm Ashley Watts. I've been coaching for January 4 years. I'm a 2-star diamond, a team leader on the leadership ladder. I have hit Success Club 10 for 3 years straight, Success Club 5 for 4 years straight. Haven't missed a month yet, knock on wood. And so that's just a little bit about me. I originally had this super cute plan to make a cute little presentation in PowerPoint for you. But with Christmas here and how the day went, it's just really basic and boring. So I'm sorry it's not very pretty. But I'm just going to dive right in. I'm going to share my screen with you guys and kind of go over what I'm doing and all that kind of stuff. So why did I decide to go to quarterly challenge groups? So I used to run either 30 or 60-day challenge groups. That's kind of what I did standard, just as a brand new coach. That's what I was in a 60-day group when I first started, and so I just thought that was the way to do it. Well, then I went to Super Saturday with, and in Salt Lake City, and Micah Folsom was there, and she just did a question and answer session, and someone asked her how she was running her challenge groups, and she explained just a teeny bit that she had just moved into quarterly challenge groups. And I thought, that's crazy. How does she get engagement in a quarterly challenge group, but I struggle with 30 days sometimes. And so I just wasn't sure how I would go about it. But I knew that this was the time to test it out before January comes and I have, newer goals and everything else. So I've been testing this out for the last 3 months, and it's been phenomenal. This last couple weeks have died down, but that always happens because of Christmas and everything else. It's happened every year that I've coached. So that's why at the time, because I was running 60-day challenge groups, I was getting overwhelmed. I, at least had 2 challenge groups going on because I'd have a new one start. Then I'd be in day 31 of my other group. And then, then I'm doing what is coaching groups and all these other things. And I was super overwhelmed, and I hated copying and pasting my post to all the different groups. I wish on the app even sometimes that, you could post to all the groups that you have. So I was getting kind of I hate challenge groups. I don't want to run them. Why am I doing this? And I got in this big old funk until I started doing it this way. I love that I have one group to check into. I love that I can have the engagement in one group. I don't have to sit there and go through, click out of the group into the next group, click out of the group into the next group to read and post and, check everyone's check-ins and stuff like that. So, I also like that challengers don't think it's a 30, 60, 80-day fix, but it's a lifestyle. And so sometimes when we say, okay, we're going to do a 30-day group, we think, okay, 30 days, I'm going to see these results. And a lot of that comes from a lot of other companies out there that have these fast, quick results. And so they expect that coming into a challenge group sometimes. And so it gives them the mindset that this is quarterly and they can do as many quarters as they want. So if it takes a year for them to hit their goal and they want to do a complete year, they can do that. If they are ready to do their own groups after 3 months, they can do that. I've also learned that I'm able to better train my PS coaches, because my brand new coaches can join in a quarterly group with me. So they have 3 months of being able to see what I'm doing. Then they can go and duplicate. And so it makes it super duplicatable where I'm not having to individually train. They're in there, they're seeing what I'm doing, they can just go. And then hopefully after 3 months, they've got it down by that point. I've also, with the Vital Process, I have been able to really dig into the Vital Process. If you don't know what that is, we'll kind of talk about that here in a minute, but it's pretty much getting your customers over to your coaches and into either your hobby coach, your building coach, or your rock star coaches. I do still have a monthly start date, and we'll kind of go over that here in a little bit, how I started. So when I talk about it on Facebook, when I'm talking about it on social media or talking about it at church, whatever activities I'm at, or whatever, people ask me, I can always say, so my challenge groups always start the very first Monday of the month. So whatever date that Monday is always go time. And I love that because my new coaches can know, like, when, if they're joining in with me, they know, okay, I can start talking that, January 1st is a Monday, so we're starting that day. February, we'll start that first Monday. So it's always the exact same Monday. I still have a start date. We just technically don't have a finish date. And so, again, I'll talk about that. The other benefit I have found when running these is it's super easy for my challengers to invite their friends and their family into the challenge group because they do it for a month. They do it, they've done it for a full month. They know exactly what's going to happen month 2 because it's the exact same thing happening every single day. So they're like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, what is this group that you're doing? They're already in it. And so all they have to do is talk about it and invite people to join in. So they can still purchase through them. That's when I can start the vital process of them becoming a coach and all that fun stuff. And again, we'll kind of go over that as we go. If you have questions, just unmute. I literally am like drinking my Shakeology and Energize, so my mind's going like 5,000 miles a minute. So unchime whenever you want. But I'm just going to dive in. So just like I said, feel free to stop me if I'm like way ahead of you or something. So I use a Facebook group and I use my challenge tracker. Now, I hated my challenge tracker. My business took a plummet once I started like using my challenge tracker, and I didn't know kind of where to go. And I blamed my business on the My Challenge Tracker app. Of course, that was my own fault. Like I have to take ownership of that. But I have found for me a really good balance using both. And I'll explain kind of what I do in both groups to kind of get that engagement and everything like that. So my challenge tracker, I honestly use it more for me. Not so much my challengers. It's a great way. Like, I'm a checklist person. So me seeing my check-ins and seeing like by Sunday that I've check every single day, like that's my personality to the T. Like, my life is surrounded by check marks. And you'll see as I share like a tracker and stuff, everything's checklist. Like, because I feel that accomplishment. I'm someone who has to print the calendar out before I work out because I feel the accomplishment of being able to write that check mark. So it is also beneficial to those who are like me and need to like have that like check mark. But really, my challenge tracker app is for me to go in and quickly see who's logging. Like, that's my primary focus of the app, is to go in, see who's logging their Shakeology, see who's logging their workouts. I do post a daily challenge every single day. And personally, I could care less if that daily challenge is done. I don't like stress about it. If people are like, oh, no one checked in today, I don't stress, because what I do see is I see who's checking in with their workout on Shakeology, because that's the most important factor. If they don't share their fun fact for the day, they're still going to see results, right? Like, because they're working out, they're getting everything that they need. And so in the group, I love that I can pre-post. So like literally right now, my January group is posted through the end of March? Yeah, that's 3 months. So yeah, so the end of March, it's literally pre-posted out. And I do have daily challenges in there that are themed, so they kind of know what to expect. This has been a huge time saver for me, because now that it's pre-posted, I don't have to stress about it, and I can really focus in my challengers in my Facebook group itself. So my Mondays is Make It Happen Monday. So this is like the never miss a Monday post. This is like, but what we do mainly on Mondays is we set a mini goal for the week. And I explain to them, what is something that you can accomplish that will stretch you, but will challenge you? And so we talk about the little victory. So maybe they're a huge Diet Coke drinker and they're drinking 5 Diet Cokes a day. For them to go cold turkey isn't going to be probably attainable for them. But to go down to 3 or 2 or 5, 4, whatever is personable to them is something that they're going to set the goal for. Maybe they haven't slept because they're a new mom or whatever, and their goal is literally just, to get an hour nap in somewhere in the day. What's attainable for them, and that's super individualized. I do write these goals down, and I find out what these goals are, and we'll talk about that. This is where I connect with my challengers, so I know what they're working on, and I can message them at the end of the week to see how they did with that goal, or throughout the week to see how they're doing with that current goal that they set. So that's Monday. Tuesday is Transition Tuesday. And honestly, I went to the Beachbody blog and I found like little like bits of health tips or whatever, because they're talking about the transition from like an unhealthy life to a healthy lifestyle. And that it's not about a quick fix, that it's going to take work, it's going to take time, it's going to take, different things in your life and changing for it to happen. So realize that so everything on Tuesday is just, well, what are some transition tips? Is it how to shop at a grocery store and staying in the perimeter of the grocery store instead of going in and out of aisles, or doing online pickups so you're not tempted to get all the crap when you're inside Walmart, or whatever it is, just something super, super simple. Wednesday is always an extra workout challenge on top of their normal. I just do, spell your name, alphabet challenge, just something kind of random, or do, 10 extra squats every time you go to the bathroom today, or whatever it is. Nothing hardcore. It's just a bonus challenge for them to complete during the day. Thursday is Think It Out Thursday. So this is your halfway mark of the week, right? So this is where they can talk about how are they doing with their goals. Are they tearing it up? Are they stinking at it this week? Where are they in that transition? But this is their time to think about where they're at, how close they are to the end goal for the week, what they need to do to be able to accomplish that end goal for the week, and kind of go from there. So Friday is just a fun fact Friday. So it might be to post a selfie with your favorite person. It might be to tell us where you grew up, just a fun fact, just a mini challenge, nothing spectacular. Saturday is See Success Saturday, and that is meal prep day. So I share meal prep tips. This is where I can take the Facebook Live group and, talk about meal prepping tips and stuff too the same day and kind of correlate it. But, just little meal prep tips that we've learned, or I've learned, over the last 4 years, because I knew nothing about meal prepping. I started my journey at way over 200 pounds, and I had no idea this whole meal prepping even existed. And so that's where I can go in and share little tips that we do. And, you don't have to be dramatic overnight, but it can just those small steps. And then Sunday is Celebrate Success Sunday. So everyone posts their greatest victory for the week. And they can say something negative, but if they post a negative, I say you have to post 2 positives. So if it was a super bad week and they were I gained 3 pounds, okay, well, what's 2 things that you did right? Okay, because, so even if there's something negative they want to say, they're allowed to say it, but they've got to say 2 things for every negative. So, and then, I always make a big deal, on Sundays when we come together and we celebrate those successes. So comment on people's stuff, go through and, congratulate people when they've, sorry guys, when they've, because it's hard to share those successes sometimes. So that's kind of my challenger. And then my Facebook group, I'm kind of adding a little bit more to my Facebook group, because this is where I've and it's just because the holidays came and it was I kind of backed off a little bit. But my Facebook group, now that my challenge tracker is all posted, the posts are set, I don't have to worry about that for 3 months. What I do now is I can now connect what are my current challengers struggling with. This is what I can go live about in my Facebook page. In my group, and I'll show you it here in a little bit. I'll show you my group, my Facebook group, so you guys can see what I did. But this is where I add all my files. I post daily recipes, because when I talk to people about getting a challenge pack, I explain to them they're going to get meal plans that I've created. They're going to get daily healthy recipes using portion control containers. And these are just straight from the Beachbody blog. So it's not like I'm coming up with these crazy. I'm literally taking images from the Beachbody blog and posting them into my group. I post a daily reminder to check in. And again, these are all scheduled. So my daily recipe is scheduled and my reminder to check in is scheduled. They're preset. Like I said, I'm a little checklist person. So this is me and this is everything I need to post. All my different groups, I just have what I need to post every single day. I had an assistant doing this and she quit in November. And so it's been me. So as soon as this is what's nice when you get to the point you can have an assistant, this is super something that they can do and duplicate without you having to like stress. This is an easy assignment without losing that connection with your challengers. So in my Facebook group, I am not going to have like theme days per se, but every day I'm going to post something. And Mondays always be like motivation. It's just always going to be something motivational, a video or a quote or something. Tuesday is always going to be a transformation spotlight. So one of my current challengers, post challengers, Beachbody challenger, from the actual Beachbody page. But Tuesday will always be a transformation post. Wednesday is a product push. So I'm not going to obviously I'm not going to say, okay, here's product push day. But this is where I can talk about either like workouts that I've done in the past, so they can explore Beachbody On Demand workouts and what I've done. This is where I can talk about 3-day refresh. This is where I can take a selfie of that Energize that I took that morning and post it in there so they know what Energize is, what it's doing. I have started this in my current challenge group, and I'll tell you, I've gotten more messages on Energize and Recover than I've ever had, because I'm posting those little selfies that they had no idea Energize and Recover existed. And so this is just like, I can post Autumn's recipe book, like just little things like that. Take a screenshot or a picture of a recipe in the recipe book and just share that. So Wednesday is going to be that product push to let them know what's available. The apparel's now counts towards volume, and so that's just adding to your income and being able to produce higher volume and in turn higher income, right? Thursday's personal development, so I'll share something I'm learning from personal development, and then hopefully someone else will chime in as they're reading. I have all my challengers start off with the compound effect. I have a free version that I've got off. I think Brigida had it on her Dropbox, in the files. So every challenger reads the compound effect. And so, which also preps them, again, we talk about the vital process and turning them from customers to coaches. They're already doing their proof of the product. They're already doing personal development. They're just posting to a group and not to their own social media. So they're doing these vital behaviors without even knowing, and they're recognizing, as they celebrate success. So Friday is my go live day, or post a blog, the Beachbody blog, an article. I can just copy and paste little pieces of it. Whatever they need is what I kind of post on Friday. Saturday is a challenger shout out. So I go into my challenge tracker. I see who's logged 5 days in a row or 6 days in a row, and I do a challenger shout out that day on the Facebook page. And so so every day there's still interaction going on there. There's still things going on, but this is where I can kind of dive in and make it more personable, because my challenge tracker is already pre-planned, pre-posted, all done. So that's kind of the difference between them. So I'm going to kind of talk to you now how I go from the vital process and kind of transform into coaches. And so the first thing I do every single day, or every couple days, because let's be honest, life happens, but I see who's checking in and who hasn't, because I'm sending messages to both. Those who are regularly checking in, I'm sending messages and saying, you are amazing. I'm so excited to see your transitions and your results. And, it's so fun to see, your positive talk and all these things that they're doing, because those who are constantly checking in are also the ones adding value on the Facebook page as well. They're posting their own motivational quotes without even being asked, or whatever it is. They're sharing their thoughts. So it keeps that positive reinforcement. Those who aren't checking in, I message them and find out why. Sometimes they're just too busy. They're working out, they're drinking Shakeology, they're following the meal plans, they're in the group, they just don't have time to log. And so where are they on that spectrum? And so I really keep track of them there. I'm going to open this and I'll share this with you guys. I actually just revamped it this week a little bit more. I had this and I posted it in the Forward Fitness page, Diamonds page, one of those pages. But here's the vital process. And let me see if I can get this a little bigger. I hate completely taking it off in case chat box comes up. Okay. So here's the vital process. Number one, get the client started, right? So you get them going with the workout, Shakeology, what supplements are they on? And then I send them a Drive Your Life packet, and I'll show you what that is. Once I show you how I start from day one, from the day they purchase their challenge pack, and roll them into, which will be the next little part. Number two is get them results. So, along with getting them results, I'm going to, reach out to them, and I'm going to invite them to post in the group. So I'm going to invite them to say, hey, I'm super, super busy tonight. Like, I have a date. Here's a recipe. Would you mind posting it in the Facebook group tonight or tomorrow? So find a way for them to post and be that person to post the recipe, or a daily motivation on Monday. Say, hey, kid's got a doctor's appointment first thing in the, Monday morning. Would you mind posting something motivational? And I encourage those people to motivate, and just those who are the natural leaders in the group, message them, say, hey, like, thanks for motivating so-and-so. I know she so appreciated those kind words. I just love seeing that. So I invite them to the next month. So have them invite their friends and their family next month and to the following month. Then, eventually I invite them to coach, make sure they send their Beachbody Challenge results, and invite them to a coach opportunity at some point. And then, obviously you transition to the coach, the discount, hobby, building. And sometimes it's in that order, or sometimes they go straight to building or hobby. And so they move up and down depending on where their goals are. And then develop a mentor. I send a new coach packet. I took my, what is coaching group, or coach basics, out. I don't do that. I put everything in one place. So it's in one little binder that they can go through, and they can see how to post to social media, how to talk to people, all that kind of stuff. Again, I've tried to just simplify, and that's been night and day. My coaches who are using the packet are doing so much better because they work on their own pace. And so that's what the Tribe Control Center is. I have a new coach survey, so I know what their goals are, kind of see where they're at and what they want with the business. I send them the new coach casserole, which is actually Brigida's new coach casserole call. I love that because I think it's important that they know who their 15-star diamond upline is. And so she's not my coach. Breezy is my coach. But I think it's still important for them to know who Brigida is, especially since I've kind of, I don't add my coaches into Team Forward Fitness page unless they're a high producing coach and are just for more resources. And so after they do all that stuff, after they watch the new coach casserole, that's when I send them, or that's when I schedule a GSR. I don't meet with any coach before they watch Brigida's new coach casserole call. That's kind of their first assignment. So they do preseason, and I will go over all this here in a second. It's in their new coach packet. So I literally just copied and pasted this part through there, and I'll share this so you guys can see the videos. I was super sick when I made these videos, so if you watch them, just know I was way sick. And then this is the tracker. So this is where I can go and say, so I only track the first 6 weeks, even though it's quarterly, because by 6 weeks, they either in or out at that point, right? Who you're at 6 weeks, who's in, and who needs a revamp come the next quarter challenge. So this is what I do. I have this box here for message. So you'll see that the very first week, I message them 3 times that they join. I message them Monday to make sure that they know how to log, they know how to do everything that they're supposed to be doing, an encouragement halfway through the week, and congratulations, you did it, okay, at the end of the week. Then you can see it kind of dwindle. So I kind of go from message on Monday down to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they hear from me a little bit less. But they're going to hear from me Tuesday because they just heard from me Sunday. So we're going to skip a day again, Tuesday and Sunday. I always send a message on Sunday because I want to see how they did with that goal and what their upcoming goal is for the following week. So I always send a message. Now, sometimes they may not respond. It happens. Realize that. I still have those coaches or those clients that are gung-ho and then they disappear the day they get their challenge pack. So that's completely normal. At least in the 4 years I've coached, it's been completely normal. But I do have this box, so I know to check in with them. So this is the way I can keep track of those, for the first 6 weeks. And then if I see by the week 2, they're not responding, they're not checking in, that's when I will kind of shuffle them to the next month. And when we start the next batch, I'll message them and say, hey, I know you're struggling. Let's have a fresh new start, with my new challengers coming up in February. So if they're kind of lost by week 2 or they become total recluse, won't talk to me, that's kind of when I say, okay, they've heard from me enough. I've sent them by this time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages. And so if they haven't heard back, that's kind of when I kind of lay off them and then go to the next month. Sorry, my cord fell out and my computer's going to die. And then at the very bottom of my tracker, I have their goals for the 6 weeks. So I write down their goal when I message them on Sundays. write down their goal. What did they see success with that week, and what did they struggle with the most that week? So that way I know their goals. And I will share this. And in fact, I can even, while I'm thinking about it, let me just put it in the chat box real fast so you guys can, if you're on. And like I said, I'll share this in the actual page, but sometimes I totally forget. So I want to make sure those who are on at least have it right now. And you guys can share this with your teams. I don't like, oops, I just messaged Shelly only. Hold on. Okay, sorry, Shelly, you're gonna get it twice. So that's kind of how I do that. And then I'm gonna kind of walk through day one with you. Hold on, now I need to find, I have, my coaches know, I'm like one who has like 5,000 windows open at once. And so I'm one of those people. Okay, so the last thing, and then you guys can ask whatever questions, kind of start to the finish. How do I get from the day they buy their challenge pack to a coach? And sometimes they don't coach. So, but kind of the process. So the day they purchase their challenge pack, like the minute they I look at the Coach Online office and see that they have completed, they purchased their challenge pack. I only allow people in who get challenge packs. I don't allow, if you're not on Shakeology or a performance line, I don't allow them in. I have free groups that they can do, and I'll be more than happy to help anyone who wants it. But this is for people, that's part of the challenge pack is me. And so that's me as their coach. And so I make that very clear to them, when I'm talking to people, that I'd be more than happy to help you. And I have, monthly free groups, but this is like part of the value is having the support, motivation, my daily recipes, my meal plans, everything. So this is, my group is also always called Drive Your Life. That's kind of like my logo or whatever you want to call it, Drive Your Life is like my slogan. That's the word. And so I don't change. I don't summer slim down, winter, whatever. I don't change the name. I'm simple. Okay. And that's not to say it's wrong or anything. It's just I have too much on my plate to think about being creative about a name. So I send them my welcome letter. Nothing too fancy. And then they have a checklist to do before their challenge pack even arrives. So what I love about this is it gets them excited instead of having to wait till the end of the month. Say they purchase on the 3rd and my next group isn't starting until another month. They can get going right away. They can start using Beachbody On Demand. They can start doing these things. And if they want to get added early, I let them in, but I don't introduce them until afterwards. So this is the stuff they need to do. They need to print out this packet, download the Beachbody On Demand app, download the My Challenger app. I do put here, purchase Energize and Recover to maximize results and reduce muscle soreness, and I put optional. But again, they're seeing that word. They're seeing what that's even available to them. With the new My Cart, I love that this added options, now that they suggest things like that. And then there's a little contract for them to sign. And then there's the following video. So this is my journey. So I talk about my personal journey and being in a challenge group. I explain the difference between the My Challenge Tracker app and Facebook. I have the My Challenge app tutorial, personal development books, and why we do it, how to use the portion, fix, all that stuff. I have all my challengers start with Clean Week, so they can get going right away. They can start with Clean Week. Get used to using those containers. Get used to using Beachbody On Demand. They can start that first week with Clean Week. And so that's a great way for them to just kind of dive into it. How to pick and commit to a workout. There's a little quiz here that Beachbody has. If you're not familiar with it, they can go through and answer questions, and I'll recommend 5 different programs for them that they can kind of choose from. So it's not so overwhelming when they see all this stuff at the beginning. How to take your measurements, all that kind of stuff is there. They can see below on how to take their measurements. And then this is what they need to do after their challenge pack arrives. And I see you guys squinting on the screen. Let me share this real fast so you guys can open it up if you want. Because I see you guys trying to see it. Control C. Who's this? Oh, and there's a chat. Sorry. Oh, good. I'm glad you're loving it. It's so scary. I still get scared after 4 years talking to people I don't even know. So this is what I have. So again, I don't care who has it. Um, so this is what they do after their challenge pack arrives. They're going to read the pin post in the Facebook group, and I'll kind of share that. And you can kind of read through that. I don't need to go. You guys kind of know like the gist here. So there's a contact for them to sign. I have them take a selfie with it, and then that's going to be posted in their Facebook album on the Facebook group. And then their weekly goals they'll set. There's 12 for them. I only have 6 on the vital process, but they can set their goal and their personal reward if they hit that goal. And then their measurements, they can go through, week 4, week 2, week 3, week 4, all that fun stuff. They can record their measurements here. If they don't like the app, I seem to have a lot of like 40-year-old ladies who don't understand the app. So like the pen and paper is like their best route. How to take their measurements, quick tips. And this is where they can track their own progress. So they don't have to use this. Again, if they're like my paper and pencil kind of people and not the app kind of people, they can go through and say, okay, did this, did this, did this. So this kind of helps those older people who I have in my group who just aren't technology savvy. And so it kind of helps them with that as well. So that packet is pretty basic. And then what I do on, so on like the preseason, I'll check in with them, especially throughout the month before they start. Hey, just want to make sure, did you get your measurements taken? Hey, did you have a chance to watch this video? Hey, and as they say yes or no, I check on that actual paper, the vital process tracker I have that they've done, all that kind of stuff. The day the group starts, I introduce them. So I make an image with like the 10 people, and if my coaches have new clients, my new coaches who I'm training I put them all on the same image. And we have a huge welcome. And what's super cool about this, and this is where I think the engagement part really starts to happen, is the veterans now feel like, oh, I got this. Like, let me like mentor her now. Like, and so they kind of step in and play mama bear. But then also, it kind of brings that new and excitement because, like when a new challenger, they're so excited and they're posting all the time they're doing, it kind of brings my old challengers back because it gets that new excitement going. And so, because they start seeing that new blood, and then I found that that's what happens every time a new, like, not segment, but like a new month starts and I introduce those, it's like all of a sudden my engagement's up on everything. And then, of course, sometimes it starts to die and then it pops up again when a new month starts. So I think that's been a huge game changer, is just having that image, introducing everyone at the same time. They all start day one because they've all completed preseason on their own and they're ready now together. And they also know who is starting with them. They see that image like, oh, like Shelly's starting with me. Cool. Like who is this girl? They can go stalk them on Facebook and everything else. So that's that. And I know like that was like 1,000 miles a minute because I have the free version. So, but I'll be more than happy. There's like 4 minutes, but if you guys are still like having questions, we can just log into the same link here. If you guys have questions, like don't feel super rushed, but I hope this makes sense. Do you guys have questions or anything?
Can we unmute? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. You can unmute whenever.
So loved this video. Oh my gosh, you just answered like so many questions for 2018 for me.
Uh-oh. Hold on, you cut out. 1 sec. My internet just switched over. Hold on. Wait for it. Okay. Sometimes it goes to Xfinity on its own. Okay, try again.
Okay, so since you start over every 30 days, how do you adjust your tracking since you're tracking them for 6 weeks?
Perfect. This is what I was going to ask you. We'll probably run out of time. So just re-click, anyone who's on here, just re-click into the link real fast. So I only track those first 6 weeks, people, unless there were like the 2 weeks. Let me pull this up real fast. So if they are not succeeding, but they're not responding here, I move them. I have this just in a binder. I move them into like February. So my January people will move to February. So I know exactly who my new challenges are like throughout the first 6 weeks. And by 6 weeks, I don't have to babysit the rest of them. So I kind of just move them to February, but they're in the back of my new challengers. And then I can kind of just randomly check in with them.
Okay. So, and then would that eventually move to the coach prospects at that point if they're doing really well by the 6 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
And the other thing too I was going to mention is, so I have 3 months worth of posts. And so come January, I start them over. So like maybe someone started in, or like I guess it'd be January, March, in April, I'll start them over again. So those who joined in February haven't seen the January. So that January will be their, even though it was some people's month 1, it will be like their month 3 of challenges.
Okay. Yes, love that. Okay. And okay, so, and would it be okay with you for me to use or go over some of this stuff you just showed us on this log? Because I had no idea there was a quiz for the, like, to find the best BOD program for them. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I'm going to stop here because it's going to have less than a minute. Everyone, if you want to have like questions, just hop back on and I'll, I have until 8:30 and then I have our regular team call. So if you want to hop on, just hop back on with the same link.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.